How excited do you get? I mean, it's old hat, but on the eve of the season and game one of the regular season.
No, I always get excited. I mean, if you're not, then you shouldn't be doing this anymore. We were talking as a staff. This has been a really long preseason. You start towards the end of September, and you feel like if you break down the last month, it's almost been like 3 different training camps. Camp before you go to Abu Dhabi, camp when you get home from Abu Dhabi, and then obviously a little mini camp after our last game against Minnesota. So I think I speak for the entire group. Everybody's excited to finally get back out there and start the season off. And what greater challenge than you have the #1 seed from last year in OKC coming into our building. And we know our fans are going to show up like they always do, and hopefully our players are ready to go out there and do their jobs and try to get off to a great start.
We know the pieces are coming together. How excited are you to find out how good this team can be?
Oh, really excited. Obviously we've shown flashes of who we can be throughout the 5 preseason games. Now the challenge is always to put those smaller sequences closer to 48 minutes. You add a veteran like Russell Westbrook, another veteran Dario Saric. Then you have young players like Christian, Julian, and Peyton who are just so excited to go out there and show how they're able to help this team win and win at a high level. So, I think everyone's excited to get going tomorrow.
Coach, on Russ specifically, when you bring in a guy like that, and I'm not trying to be critical of second unit, but a lot of times it's, with Nicole or some of the starters out, let's keep it close. When you have Russ running your second unit, why not extend the lead? Is it that kind of the thinking?
Yeah, I mean, the thinking should never be from a losing mindset, like, hey, let's just hold water. Let's only get outscored by 2. No, you're hoping that your second unit, whoever that winds up being, can go out there and build whatever lead the starters had, or if we're down, they can go in there and get us back in the game. Like I want us to have a positive mindset, an aggressive mindset, as opposed to just trying to hold water. Well, that's just that's not good enough. And obviously, the Russell Westbrook's never taken a backward step in his life, and I don't expect him to start doing that now.
What kind of lift will Peyton being available give the team the second unit?
Yeah, it's been great having him in practice. I think. This is not a knock on anybody on our roster, but Peyton is able to do things that a lot of guys on our roster can't, especially coming off the bench. You talk about his defensive versatility, you talk about that athleticism, and then even offensively, just the different things that he provides, from attacking the basket, finishing, making plays off the bounce. So it's going to be great to have Peyton out there and back playing, which is where we've missed him in those 5 preseason games.
Because he didn't play, is there, do you ramp him up? Is there like a lower minutes early on or something like that?
No. I mean, he's a young kid, man. He's 22 years old. This is game 1. If he gets tired or whatever, we can always read that. But no, I love the fact that going into the season, there are no minute restrictions. Guys that are playing, go out there and play. And, as long as you're asked to play and do the best job that you can.
You mentioned earlier doing your job. What does doing your job look like against Oklahoma City?
Well, I think it requires great discipline. Obviously, I think one thing I challenge our players today, we played them in the preseason, division rival, #1 seed. We have to have much better discipline in terms of who we're guarding, knowing their tendencies. Shea, for example, he leads the league every year in rejects and pick and rolls. You can't let him reject. He leads the league in steals per game. We have to be really careful with the ball around him, not try to dribble in a crowd. We have to trust the pass. So there are certain things that we can do, and not just with Shea, but all their players, that can help us have success from a personnel standpoint, from a discipline standpoint. What are we trying to do offensively and defensively? They're a great defensive team. They're physical. They try to push you out. And if we're lazy and we don't create leads and we're not physical ourselves, we're playing right into their hands. And the one challenge we have is if we can try to force the Thunder to be a half-court team, which means that we're taking care of it and not giving up 25-plus points in transition, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. In the preseason game, I know it's preseason, but when you have 24 turnovers for 30-plus points, now you're beating yourself, and it's going to be really hard to beat the #1 seed in the West while you're also beating yourself. So those are some of the things, Ryan, that I think we can really focus upon in hopes of getting a win tomorrow night.
A year ago, you guys were lifting the banner, getting your rings. Last night, watching a different team do it. Any emotions there? Hunger more so when you see somebody else doing it?
Yeah, I was at Heritage High School watching Mountain Vista, so I did not see the ceremony. Probably would not have watched it anyways. I did get home, was able to watch most of the second game, the Minnesota Laker game. But, new season, new challenge. And obviously now Boston's got 29 teams coming after them every night. And obviously If you look at last night, it looks like they're ready for that challenge with how they played. But, yeah, man, this is a new opportunity for us, new team, and hopefully we can attack it starting tomorrow night.
As somebody who followed their father into the same line of work, did you think it was cool seeing Bronny and LeBron on the court for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a special moment. Obviously, I think it's pretty cool that the Griffeys were there. I haven't done that in baseball, and now you had LeBron and Bronny out there, and it's kind of special for me because I haven't been around LeBron for 5 years, and haven't gotten a chance to know him and coach him. Those are pretty cool moments where you have to kind of tip your cap to his career. And as I was watching that, my daughter sitting next to me, she goes, "Would you ever want to play with me?" And I said, "What, volleyball or basketball?" She goes, "I don't know, basketball." And I said, "Well, it would depend on what kind of player you were." You know what I mean? If you were tough and hard-nosed, I'd love to play with you. And she laughed. But, yeah, I think pretty cool moment for them. And, hopefully, people just let Bronny be Bronny, man. Like the amount of attention that poor kid gets. Let him be a rookie. It's so unfair. I just hope he's got a great family around him, but hope he can just handle all that because it's just the immense media attention on that young kid is just, for a second-round pick, I've never seen that before. It's incredible.
Continuity is increasingly rare on rosters in the league, whether by necessity with the CBA or maybe just teams not prioritizing it. When you have Jamal extended, Aaron extended this offseason, how much do you feel continuity on a daily basis with that group of 4 guys, and how do you get better over time with continuity?
Well, I think with continuity comes confidence. You know each other. There's like an unspoken chemistry on the court. I know for Nikola and Jamal, who played 9 years together, they can look at each other and just kind of read each other and play off of each other. That doesn't happen when you're in a first year or a second year. It takes time. And for us to have a core 4 in Jamal, Michael, Aaron, and Nikola that's been together, that's won a championship, and been a part of probably the best period of Nuggets basketball. Those guys have a relationship on and off the court. They trust each other. They know each other. And they've been in big, big moments together that you can't, go into a practice court and try to replicate. Doing it in real situations in front of a packed crowd, those guys have those experiences. And I think from those come a lot of confidence in one another.
Thanks, Coach.